From the very beginning, Genie Make-A-Wish grabbed attention thanks to its flashy concept and all-star cast. But almost immediately, small flaws began surfacing, hinting that the show might not live up to the hype and could be headed for disappointment. From the very moment the first teaser for the drama appeared, it was clear that not everything was going smoothly behind the scenes. Just to explain, the story centers on Kyung, played by Suzy, a young woman whose life has been shaped by the strict guidance of her grandmother. Growing up under such rigid care, Kyung has learned to keep darker impulses in check, living a quiet, disciplined life until one day everything changes. Her world is turned upside down when she stumbles upon an ancient lamp, unaware that it holds far more than just decoration. Releasing Genie, brought to life by Kim Woobin, she unwittingly invites a mischievous spirit who has been trapped for 1,000 years into her life. What starts as an intriguing promise of 3 magical wishes quickly becomes a whirlwind of unpredictable events. Genie's chaotic magic throws Kyung into situations she could never have imagined, simultaneously sparking a complicated, unexpected romance between the two. However, the story takes a far darker twist than the initial whimsical setup suggests. Kyung soon learns that Genie is no ordinary trickster. He is Iblis, the devil incarnate, sent to test whether humans can truly resist the pull of corruption. This blending of romance, fantasy, and moral exploration gives the familiar genie in a lamp trope a fresh, thought-provoking edge. However, despite the captivating premise and the star power of Suzy and Woobin, viewers were quick to voice disappointment after seeing the first teaser. Netizens criticized the trailer heavily, pointing out that it felt more like a collection of polished concept art than a preview of an actual drama. The flashy graphics, over-the-top editing, and overall commercialized tone left many feeling confused rather than excited. For a series boasting such well-known actors, fans expected a teaser that reflected careful storytelling and cinematic quality rather than a glitzy, disjointed montage. The buzz suggested that the production team's ambitions may have overshadowed the need for a coherent and engaging introduction, leaving audiences wary even before the first episode aired. Comments from netizens said things like, "So, this was done on purpose? And is this really the best they could do?" The wave of criticism only grew stronger once the character posters were released, drawing attention for all the wrong reasons. One poster showcased Woobin's character, labeled boldly as the Satan of the Lamp, reclining amidst a swirl of glowing sand particles and flickering magical energy. The visual was meant to be striking, emphasizing his supernatural allure, yet it left many viewers unconvinced. The other poster featured Suzy as the psychopathic master, holding the genie's lamp in one hand and a drill in the other, a combination that left audiences scratching their heads rather than intrigued. Reaction to the posters was overwhelmingly negative, coming from both Korean fans and international viewers alike. The majority complained that the designs felt low budget and poorly executed, with some even suggesting that the images looked as though they had been generated by AI. Several netizens even went so far as to compare them to AI-created fan art they had seen online, claiming that they appeared more polished and visually appealing than the official promotional material. One Reddit user commented, "Wait, you mean to tell me they're serious about these posters? It's not a skit or a prank, and the person uploading does so with a straight face?" Fans didn't stop at criticizing the overall design, as they also took issue with the way Woobin's image was edited, claiming that he appeared almost sickly in the poster. To many viewers, this choice seemed baffling and unnecessary, leaving them puzzled as to why the editors would portray him in a way that felt unflattering and out of place for a character meant to exude power and mystique. The controversy surrounding the posters grew to such an extent that it eventually drew a response from Suzy herself. She chose to address the issue publicly during an appearance on the YouTube channel Jo Hyun Ah's Ordinary Thursday Night. Suzy explained that the production team had spent a lot of time discussing and deliberating over the poster designs, emphasizing that every element was intentional and had a purpose, even if it wasn't immediately clear to the audience. She acknowledged the criticisms, but encouraged viewers to look beyond the initial impressions, highlighting that the series is set in a world that uniquely blends elements of fantasy and reality. Suzy reassured assured fans that the show could be enjoyed in different ways, whether casually for entertainment or as a series to watch together with family, inviting the audience to explore its story without overthinking the visuals or promotional choices. She went on, "I really immersed myself in the character, which made it challenging. I think this work will stay with me for life, and I've learned a lot from it. I hope it does well." The problems with the show went far beyond its awkward graphics and uneven editing. Beneath the surface, the drama carried a series of deeper, more controversial issues that sparked widespread backlash, many tied directly to its core concept. At the heart of the controversy is Woobin's character, who calls himself Iblis. For viewers familiar with Islam, this is not a trivial choice, as Iblis is the embodiment of evil, essentially Satan, representing rebellion and defiance against divine authority. The idea of presenting such a figure in a romantic comedy where audiences are expected to sympathize with or even root for him felt jarring and for many unacceptable. Fans were particularly vocal about the way the series mishandled the character's identity. The drama blends elements from Islamic and Middle Eastern mythology, including jinns and genies, but does so in a way that often confuses or misrepresents these concepts. One common criticism was that the writers appeared to treat Iblis, a figure synonymous with ultimate evil, as interchangeable with a genie or a jinn, entities that carry very different meanings and connotations. Social media reflected this disbelief, with viewers pointing out that the show could have simply created an original jinn character for the story, but instead chose to give a character a backstory and name directly tied to the most reviled being in Islam, raising serious cultural and religious concerns. The controversy intensified when viewers noticed the show allegedly borrowed passages from the Quran to flesh out Iblis's backstory. What might have been intended to lend depth to the character instead came across as an insensitive appropriation, adding fuel to the criticism. Many felt that the series not only trivialized sacred traditions, but also risked offending audiences by romanticizing a figure that, in Islamic belief, symbolizes ultimate evil. Critics and fans alike argued that this mishandling of religious and cultural material, combined with the series' overall lack of research and care, turned what could have been a creative fantasy into something tone-deaf and disrespectful. Ultimately, the drama's approach left many viewers questioning the writer's preparation and awareness, as well as the ethics of presenting a character embodying pure evil in a context meant to entertain and charm. By attempting to fuse religious symbolism with romantic comedy tropes, the series sparked confusion, frustration, and disappointment, highlighting the importance of cultural sensitivity in storytelling, especially when dealing with concepts that hold profound significance. In response to this, a Twitter user wrote, "I was so excited for this show, but when I saw they twisted the story of Iblis into a love story, I rejected it completely. This is not art, it's a clear insult to Islam." On top of everything else, the acting quickly became another major point of criticism, with viewers openly expressing their disappointment in both Suzy and Woobin. Many audiences found themselves distracted not by the story, but by the way key emotional moments were delivered, or more accurately, mishandled. One particular scene ended up being widely discussed online. It featured Suzy's character suddenly cursing at Woobin's character, who's shocked at what's happening and keeps flinching away. This moment struck a chord for all the wrong reasons. Some fans jokingly suggested that the scene highlighted how rarely Suzy actually swears in her personal life, implying that her discomfort carried over to the performance. Others were less playful, calling the interaction awkward and uneven, arguing that it revealed a deeper issue, that neither actor seemed capable of convincingly portraying the authenticity the scene required. The reaction suggested that the exchange ended up feeling unnatural, leaving viewers more focused on the clumsiness of the performance than on the plot or character dynamics. One comment from a netizen said, "Both are just not good." Another comment read, "Honestly, I think I could act better myself." However, it was Suzy who got the brunt of the criticism surrounding the show, with a large portion of the audience openly questioning her abilities as an actress. Many viewers felt that she relied more on her physical appearance than on her talent, suggesting that her fame and popularity were what repeatedly secured her lead roles rather than any genuine acting skill. Her character, written to be a cold, calculating psychopath, was meant to be intense and unpredictable, yet many felt that Suzy's performance came across as stiff and mechanical, portrayal, more robotic than genuinely detached or emotionless. This disconnect left audiences struggling to take her character seriously, with some claiming that her portrayal made the supposedly chilling persona feel flat and unconvincing. A number of fans went further, arguing that the show itself would have been far stronger if another actress had been cast in the role, someone capable of bringing depth and nuance to the character. Among the harsher reactions, one commenter even bluntly stated that Suzy simply could not handle the complexity of such a serious role, advising that she should stop attempting these kinds of characters altogether. Even with all the criticism and negative buzz swirling around it, Genie Make-A-Wish hasn't lost its spotlight, largely because of the high-profile names attached to the project. The drama's cast features some of the industry's most beloved actors, the script comes from a well-known writer, and its release perfectly coincides with the holiday season, a time when audiences are more likely to tune in. These factors have kept people curious, eager to see whether the series can live up to the hype despite its shaky start. Now, the real question isn't just about the controversy itself, but whether the show can turn the tide, winning over viewers and performing well during one of the most competitive streaming periods of the year when countless other dramas and specials are also vying for attention.